Ben White, standing for the Green Party in Church Langley. Firstly, why did you decide to stand?
I'm just really, really passionate about the environment. I feel I'm a Harlow resident, well, I'm born and bred, grown up here, and I just feel like the town is in decline, and I feel like I want to take action in terms of what we can do. I mean, there's potholes that win the roads, traffic everywhere, and it's just, I mean, there's rubbish everywhere as well. Everywhere you look, when you go for a walk, you just see rubbish all over the floor.
So you mentioned traffic. We are in rush hour in Church Langley Way, so there's a hell of a lot of cars on the roads. Is there something that you as Greens can do about that?
Well, we were talking about more bus routes, or more buses in general, and trying to work out bus lanes that we can actually divert through traffic, so that in the busy rush hours we can actually have a bus that runs through. Maybe possibly even a park and ride that they do in Cambridge. They've got one of them, and that's when people just pitch up their cars and will just jump, instead of jumping and driving around in their cars, they will be on the bus instead, and we can all get them on there and save fuel that way.
The national TV, like Sky, have taken up the green concerns about the climate change, haven't they? And a lot of people climate change. I know you might say, well, it hasn't happened overnight. That's the problem, isn't it? Do you think people really, if not necessarily vote for you, but really start to think about the climate?
I think it's time. I think especially when people's pennies are now being more and more tightened, like more pinched, in terms of the energy crisis. It's never been more prudent and more obvious to go towards green. I think we've never been more relevant than now. And I think, like, if people look at it and people thought that Greens are maybe a wasted vote or they're beforehand because it wasn't so relevant to them and the experiences that they're having, but now with all the struggles that people are having, the energy crisis and the environment, if you just take a look around, I think people will now really understand how we need the
and
Green Party.
The thing, Church Langley always been conservative, but you're saying to those voters, and whether it's cost of living or Boris Johnson, just say have a little think about the Greens.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly it. I mean, we can't keep going down this channel, this path. We've got to be a way of bringing in renewable energy, and the Green Party is the party for this, to encourage all this. And I think in terms of people, if we keep going down this path, your money's only going to be get less and less and less in expenditure. So,
speaking of climate and plastics, I can't notice you're wearing Langley Colts. Some people complain, one of the things they say about Saturday and Sunday football teams, there's those plastic bottles on the side of the pitch. Does Langley Colts have a policy? I know they're not standing, but do you?
Yes, we do. Yes, we massively do. We can't have any rubbish left behind. Everyone has to take their rubbish with them. We don't tend to renew the uniform too often unless it's absolutely tattered. Things like that all thought about as well. And I mean, like, keeping the place clean is a massive priority. If anyone doesn't pull their weight in terms of, I had to paint the lines last week because one of us put a goal over the top of the lines, and the guy that did the lines didn't do it. So we got to chip in for the community.
But speaking about teams, the Greens is your first, and as I said, I'm not going to treat you like a non-league team, on a good run, but you seem to have quite a good team spirit, don't you, amongst the 10 of you plus?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, the main thing is we're not at each other's throats on a week in, week out basis. We are very much together. We want to sort of represent the community and community feel. So the idea is to bring back a bit of integrity to politics mainly. I feel like it's been lost. People feel a bit alienated and disillusioned by it a lot these days, and they feel that there's only two options, where we're trying to represent a new option where we can connect with the public a lot more. We're more transparent. We give them a direct way of reporting issues, but also a direct dialogue, a constant dialogue for them to sort of correct the issues that are going on in the town, instead of being, I wouldn't say shady, but a bit more like hidden away where it's harder to obtain information. We want to make sure that there's a constant dialogue with us and we're easy to contact, and that's why we're so personable and we make a connection.
What will you see as success on Thursday night, Friday morning? Winning or just a certain number of votes? We
aim to win. Everyone goes into anything to aim to win. We take ourselves very seriously, so we've come down here to really get a foot in the door and let people know that we're serious, let people know what we're all about, and let people know that this is hopefully going to be the future, and potentially going to be the future, and we're not going away.